What's up guys, hope you're doing great. This is Kobe Shots, and today I have a video for you. We're going to look at how light positioning and distancing affects your subject. Let's get into the video. For this video, I'm going to use the Godox SL60W with the Godox 95cm Octabox, which has two diffusive sheets in front of the light, and that's what I'm going to be using for this video. And you're going to see how this lighting setup is going to help us understand the light positioning and distance and how it affects our subject. I'm going to give you a look at how the lights can be positioned and where exactly they are going to be positioned for the purpose of this tutorial. I'm going to have two assistants helping me out on this one holding one light behind my subject as you see in the video, and the other on the left holding the softbox. So first of all, let us look at light positioning. Light positioning is very imperative in photography and filmmaking. So regardless of what you do, if you do photography, if you do filmmaking, you're going to need to understand light positioning and how it affects our subject. So the source of light or the type of light that you use is going to determine the light quality that the light source is going to yield. For our video, we're going to use soft lighting to help us wrap around our subject for a more pleasing look. Firstly, let us look at the light from the left. The light from the left is a very soft light which is being softened by two diffusive panels in front of the light source, and this helps us to wrap around the subject once again, and also helps us soften the texture of the skin of our model or our subject in this video. So this essentially means that if you have more softening from your light source, it is going to help you reduce, if your subject has blemishes, it's going to help you eradicate all kinds of contrast, all kinds of imperfections of the face of the model. It doesn't matter who you're shooting, it is still going to serve as a very good light source or a good light quality for your production. Again, the light source from the camera left hitting the right side of the model's face isn't going to be necessarily regarded as split lighting, because the light is softened and it seeps and bleeds across, giving a very gradual effect across from the highlights to the shadows. So you don't really see a very sharp contrasting split of the light across the face of the model, but it is kind of wrapping around the face of the model, and this is the effect that you get using a soft light. So the next light positioning that I'm going to talk about is the light from above. So you see my assistant lowering the light down my model's head, and as you can see, the light actually becomes brighter and it becomes even more softened when the light gets closer. This one way you can light a scene like a dinner scene, an interrogation scene, and any kind of scene that requires light from above. The only difference that you may make is going to be by the contrast that you're going to yield from your light, which means that it's either you're going to soften the light by diffusing the light with diffusive panels like what I have with my softbox, or you can use a harsh light, meaning without diffusion, and it's going to serve a different purpose. So depending on the look you're going for, you can either go for a soft light or a harsh light, and the harsh light on the other side is going to give you a lot of contrast. And so if your model has long eyelashes or deep eye sockets, it's going to really accentuate these effects, and it may not look flattering enough depending on your concept. Or if you're going for a more contrasting look, trying to conceal the identity of your subject, then you can go for such a look. But for the most part, if you're looking for a much beautiful or much pleasing wrapping kind of look, then go for the soft lighting, no matter where it's coming from the left side or from above. Light positioning really matters, so know what you're going for and choose it appropriately. The next thing to talk about is the rim lighting. Rim lighting is simply any light that is being positioned behind the subject to bring them out or to carve them out, or I would say to separate them from the background. This lighting technique can be used by choice. It is not obligatory or in any way supposed to always be used, but you can use it if you really need it. In my case, I'm going to still demonstrate it so that you know how it can be used. I'm going to have my assistant turn on the light behind my model, and as you can see from the dark background, the model is standing out. You can use any kind of color from rim lighting. So for instance, in music videos, you have the creative freedom to use or choose any color depending on the concept, but you have for the most part a lot of luxury to use colors. So the rim lighting can be used in dynamic ways, talking about the lighting, talking about the strength or the quality of light source. It can be harsh or it can be softened depending on what you're looking for and what suits the concept best. I'm going to introduce a light modifier which is going to help us bounce back some part of the light. This is not actually a light source, but it's a light modifier that helps you shape light and that helps you accentuate light as well as change the light's properties, and this is known as the reflector. The reflector is going to be used right beneath the chin of my model, and as you can see, it creates this nice effect of bouncing back the light that is being lost below. And light works in this way: anything that obstructs light casts a shadow. So for instance, in the case of the light cast from above, you realize that the eye sockets, the nose, and the chin are all casting shadows. So the chin is casting shadows against the neck, and the nose is casting shadows against the gutter of the lip. And to eradicate this issue, you can use a light modifier like the reflector, as I'm using in this demonstration, to bounce back the light into those areas that are dark or that are in deep shadows, and to bring more character to my subject. The other thing that I also love most about the reflector is that it gives me a catch light in the eyes of my subject. So for instance, just as you can see in the demonstration, you realize that my model's eyes are catching some light cast from above, bounce back into those shadowy areas and also in the eyes, and it makes the eyes glow very well. And this helps accentuate the character of the subject and also bring out the aesthetics of my subject. In lighting, the distance of the subject from the background as well as the light's distance from the background affects the look of the shot. And so pay very close attention to how you position your light. If your light shines against your background, it is going to reveal your background. So if you are looking at concealing your background or creating more contrast for your subject to stand out even more, then avoid using an angle that will have the light bouncing against the background. So essentially, a soft light will be very difficult to avoid touching the background unless the intensity is not strong enough. So the distance of the subject from the background can be a very good move in this type of situation. So having the subject move a little bit more away from the background is going to help you make your work very easy by having the light not touching the background or having little to no possibility of touching the background. So to wrap up, the understanding of lighting, be it light positioning, light modification, like the use of the reflector as I demonstrated in this video, is very important and should be to you, a photographer or a filmmaker, so that it can up your confidence, and the next project that you pick up, be it a paid job or your own personal project, it's going to help you with your confidence and it's going to increase your productivity and efficiency in filmmaking and in photography alike. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Share this video across all social media platforms that you belong to, and of course turn on the post notification button so that you'll be the first to be notified anytime I upload a new video onto my YouTube channel. Until the next video, have a wonderful day. See ya.